Welcome to Millenia, boys and girls. Be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, demon, entity of any number of the coils, to include natives, migrators, and invaders. I, your Millennium Mailman host here today, welcome you into the realm of Millenia, for I will be world building for you long after you have already begun to acclimate and fit in. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this Tourism Tuesday of my moldy notebook. It's an old one. So today I will be delving a bit more into the I believe the last one was about DNA. I'm pretty sure the last one was on DNA. So delving into that, I have a bit more of a nuanced aspect on DNA. So as far as literally, for the literary purposes of this novel and this series, DNA kind of is a bit nuanced here. So to go with that, I have in this novel Innate Skills, where in a different video I said that skills are things that you naturally very much could possibly develop and do on your own. But innate skills are kind of like genetic hand-me-downs of accomplishments someone further on down the line of ancestors was able to be awesome about, right? So either that is something directly to your genetics, or something that is being attributed to you because your genetics are a close enough match to another person who was just that awesome, right? Where I'm not sure if I put that in the video yet. So I'm gonna just reiterate that concept. So in my book here, there is your parents, and how DNA works is 50% of your DNA comes from your mom and 50% of your DNA comes from your dad. That's real life, right? Now, when another layer to that is where if your genetics, be they from your mom and dad, if you, the offspring, have genetics that are more than a 50% match to anyone who has ever lived before in history, their soul, their life essence may try to come and possess you is if they and their transversal through river Styx that's erasing all their individuality, if they manage, before they get fully erased by river Styx, that part of their remnant soul that once housed a body that was more than a 50% match to you is going to try to come back and resonate with you, your body, and all that good. So either you get an innate skill because your parents directly passed it on to you through your DNA, and you also get innate skills from how many people are like genetic matches to you further down in history, right? So that is very much the case with those who end up having more than two, or even in cases where there's more than one innate skill being passed on in the family tree and so on and so forth, right? So your mother was an incredible, pick a profession. She was a great hair technician, right? So she just had an eye for being able to spot hair defects and this and that, and your father was the world's greatest coal miner, right? And he was a wizard with mining tools and detonations and explosives. So genetically, you're getting passed down that innate skill to being dexterous with your hands and sensitive to minute details from both your mother and father. Your mother being minute details and being able to see the little things about this and that on as small and thin as hair, and then your father being attuned to the environment of, I'm going to make it out of this coal mining cave and make it home. So you can develop one innate skill for being attuned and easily noticing the smallest of little things that benefit you in some way, or you can gain multiple skills, such as the innate skill to being visually acute and being perceptionally acute to your surroundings, like a sixth sense of sorts. And then if you develop any skills outside of those, maybe it's from your great grandparents or something or so forth, or if there's no one in your family branch line that it's actually makes sense that you got your skills from, then it was probably from your genetic match being good enough for another foreign soul outside of like your family tree trying to come in and possess or instill and resonate with your soul that allowed you to get an extra skill. Like say, I don't know, and this is an example, say that despite however black I am, if somehow I am more than 50% genetically matched to Albert Einstein, right? One of my kids, if one of my kids somehow had a greater than 50% match to Albert Einstein, that is such a far apart correlation, but please stick with me, right? My child would thus, if they were like 50% or more genetic match to Albert Einstein, despite however long he's had the chance to be braving the river Styx, whatever remains gets passed on to my child from the resonating of the souls, where Albert Einstein, his little new generation match, now has the innate skill for understanding and competence toward the theories of relativity and being able to come up with new concepts. He's just that kind of book smart, space, relativity, nuclear physics, and rocket science expert. He has an innate skill to being that logically sound because that was a skill developed by the world's brightest of minds. And my child just happened to be more than a 50% match to the greatest wisdom on earth. Why couldn't I be more than a 50% match? I don't know, okay? That's just a pig. The world's not fair, and it's just most unfortunate for you, right? So that is the bare bone basics of that concept right there, right? But again, I do have that concept of innate skills in my novel, and that's pretty much how you could relatively come to understand the basis and idea behind it, and how that differs just from having regular skills and regular this and regular that versus why it has that extra prefix added onto it to make it considered an innate skill, right? But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna start digressing. So, hey, that's just me, your Millennium Mailman here today, and that's all I really have for you. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel like it. But if not, peace.